everybody. This is Elena from Portsmouth Comic Con, and today we're bringing you episode 1 of our new web series called In the Spotlight, where we will get a chance to meet and get to know people who were involved in the past Portsmouth Comic Con in June this year. It will be people like influencers, social media stars, and many, many more. To kick things off, the first guest in the spotlight will be Aimee, who is a very talented cosplayer and social media creator, and was also one of our very special creator guests at 2023 Portsmouth Comic Con. And I'm going to pass the mic to her to do a bit of an introduction.
Hello, my name is Aimee. I go by Aimee online, which is stupid for Welsh. A lot of people ask me what it actually means. I'm always like, no, it's Welsh, I'm Welsh. I was very fortunate enough to attend Portsmouth Comic Con this year as a creator, which was the best experience ever. I've been cosplaying for about 2-3 years, I think. I've been cosplaying since I was 15 and I turn 18 now in 2 months. So I'm getting old. But mainly what I like to do online is cosplay like female characters. Like the characters that I'm probably most known for cosplaying are Catwoman, Gwen Stacy, and also Wonder Woman. So cosplaying characters that mean a lot to me, that are just massive girl bosses, are kind of the things I like to do. So I like to just post pictures of me in these costumes. But I mainly do use TikTok. So that's all about me.
The first question that I have for you today is, as a professional cosplayer yourself, like you just mentioned to us, why do you think cosplaying is so important to these types of events, to Comic Cons?
Professional makes me sound so much more cooler than I actually am. But I feel like cosplaying has always been a massive part of like any convention that you go to, whether it be like a comic event or like an anime and gaming convention. And I feel like, or at least for me, people kind of use it as a way to connect to the characters. Because like when I was very fortunate to be at Portsmouth Comic Con and I was doing all the panels and I was doing all the questions, I always kind of went back to being able to have that relationship with the characters and the effect that they can have on your life, even though they are fictional. So just because they're fictional doesn't mean that they can't impact you in any way. So like Catwoman, for example, has been a character that I've loved for many, many years. And I just feel like maybe Catwoman's not the best example because she is an anti-hero. But if we look at like heroes, like Captain Marvel, for example, she's also one of my favorites. Like their morals and their principles of, you know, being able to help people and stuff, the relationship that you can have with them and look up to them and, you know, take some traits from them and bring it into your own personality, something very important. So being able to do it then at comic conventions, when there's so many other people around you who, you know, may not be in the same fandom as you, so like Marvel or DC, you kind of all have that shared similar interest. And I feel like going up to people, at least for me, at conventions when they're also in cosplay, is like an amazing like conversation starter. You're like, oh my God, I love your cosplay. Like your cosplay is so cool. And like the time and effort and dedication that goes into the majority of them is insane. Like people spend so many hours like on props and like costumes themselves, sewing and all that stuff. So yeah, cosplaying has always just been an integral part of comic conventions, I think, because it connects us in a way. It's kind of a little connection.
So question 2 is more around your professional path. As a person who's pursued cosplaying, especially over social media and TikTok, like you mentioned, what are some of the well-kept secrets of such a career path? And what advice do you have for someone who wants to pursue it in the future?
So, I will admit the majority of where I've kind of got to has been luck, to be honest. That's what you'll probably find is, you know, the reason why a lot of creators will initially gain their following is because a video has gone viral. So that's what happened to me. Birmingham MCM 2021, I had a video go viral. It's on about 8 million views at the moment. And that's kind of where like my traction like started to build up. And it was on a video that I wouldn't have even thought like twice. I literally posted it before I went to bed, like while the Comic Con was still going, like on Saturday night. Posted it. I was like, I need to be up in the morning. I need to do Black Widow. And then I woke up and I was like, what the hell like is going on? So any tips and advice that I can kind of give in that retrospect, I it's kind of difficult only because of how lucky that I've actually been. So a lot of my tips and advice come from like authenticity and like your passion towards the career path. So, you know, the thousands of followers that you might have, if you woke up tomorrow and you only had 5, would you still be posting? And for me, the answer has always been, yeah, 100%. Like, I cosplay because I want to cosplay. I cosplay because of the characters. I don't cosplay because, as much as I'm grateful for it and, you know, it's a nice little added bonus, I don't cosplay for the followers or like the views and whatever. I just cosplay because it's stuff that I enjoy. It's the fandoms that I enjoy. Like I said, it's the characters that I enjoy. And it's so intricate in itself, like researching all of the costumes, you know, and just having your own take and little spin on it. So my advice would always be, if you want to like kind of get into it, is just make sure you're doing it for the right reason. And, you know, like I said, if you woke up tomorrow and nobody was watching your videos, would you still share the same sort of passion behind it?
That sounds amazing. And I think that was really, really solid advice for anyone who wants to pursue that type of career in the future. So that's amazing. Thank you for that. And I want to move into a bit more of a discussion of the past Comic-Con in Portsmouth that we had, which, as you mentioned, we were very, very lucky to have you as one of our special creator guests. And it was a pleasure to have you here, and we hope that you had an amazing time along with everyone else at the event as well, of course. So my question is, if you had to use one word to describe your experience at Portsmouth Comic-Con 2023, what would it be and why?
Mind-blowing. It's the word that I settled on. It would be mind-blowing only because and this is what I've said to like every single person, like when I've come back home, you've asked me, oh my gosh, how was it? And I've been like, oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. Like, it was mind-blowing. It was awesome. So Portsmouth was the first, like, because I've not actually been to that many Comic Cons. I think Portsmouth has only been like my 3rd one in total. I've only ever been, the other 2 have been MCM. It's been Birmingham and London. So they've been like the absolutely massive ones. Like there's like 100,000 people there. There's like the whole XL or the NEC Centre. Like there's so many people. They're so busy. I'm like, oh my god, like what is going on? So it was nice being able to go to Portsmouth, just to try and like see what it would be like not going to MCM, which is like the massive like money makers, and you're like, oh my god, like this is a little bit overwhelming. And Portsmouth Comic Con just blew me away because it was, I feel like, because obviously I've never been to Portsmouth before, and like neither had my dad, who was the person that I brought along with me. So I don't think we realised how big the Guildhall actually is, like all of the levels on it and like all of the outside space. And we were like, even though it's a lot smaller than MCM, obviously, we didn't anticipate how big it would actually be and like how many people actually turned up, because it was like thousands of people there, and we were like, oh my god. But it was, at the same time, it was absolutely perfect. Like at no point did I feel overwhelmed by anything that was going on, and even though there were so many people there, I didn't have a bad experience like at all throughout the entire time. Like everyone was so nice. I had so many people come up to me for photos, and it was just, if I had to describe, it was the perfect size. It was perfect size. All of the traders, like there was so many of them, but it was doable, if that makes sense. Sometimes MCM, it doesn't feel doable. You're like just walking around endlessly. You're like, have I already been there? I'm getting a bit bored now, like, to go, I mean. But no, Portsmouth Comic Con was just perfect by just all of the people that I talked to, the way it was organized as well and run. Like it was just mind blowing.
That's great. Oh, that's really, really sweet to hear. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for doing this interview with us and being in the spotlight. And to everyone else, make sure to follow Aimee on social media. Her ads will be displayed on the screen. So make sure to follow her on Instagram and on TikTok. And that's it. Thank you very much for tuning into In the Spotlight.